keywords, and it builds out, you know, the ED, the S's on it, and you can just put one keyword and it builds out all the different type of variations of it. But it's a brilliant formatting and the timing that they took on it. Okay. All right. So Steven's going to be actually doing a introduction of a program that he came across, and I don't want to give away too much of it because the stuff that he was telling me about it was pretty cool. So before we start on that, I did want to talk about, I think, one of the best books I have come across since I started reading. If you ever get a chance and you want a book that is not only good for learning a little bit about business, but super entertaining, very motivational, I highly recommend reading this book called Shoe Dog. And the reason I came across it is because it started coming up on a lot of the podcasts I listen to, from real estate to internet business to all different genres that I listen to. When the one question asked, what is a book that people started liking a lot or saying was the best book there, this book was coming up constantly. And it is called Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, the founder of Nike, and it's his story on how he built Nike behind it. And it is brilliantly, entertainingly written from beginning to end. I highly, highly recommend it. The audiobook, the guy that they actually used, I actually went through the audio version of it. The guy that they used to actually do the narration for it is fantastic. So I would actually say, if you like audio versions of it, that might be worth listening to more than over reading. But people who read this say it's equal. I mean, it is right off of the book. But the guy does a really good job in actually putting a lot of emotion into the story. It will make you go from everything to cheering to just, even though you know Nike's around, you're like some parts of the book where you're going to be thinking, there's no way he's going to get past it. How does he do it? And it just talks about perseverance, but just vision, dreaming, and no matter what's going on with Nike today, Phil Knight is no longer actually running the company as per se that way. So I don't know if you guys know about, what's his name? Who's the Kaepernick or something? Yeah, the quarterback that's going on there. It has nothing to do with him. And of course, the company does have different vision. I mean, that advertising campaign has brought them over $6 billion since they've started running that. It's crazy. So needless to say, Nike has a team of analysts that knew what was going to happen, or could very well predict that they were going to do well with it anyway. Because when they were, I was thinking that's kind of crazy for them to actually take a stand on that they did, but it's done them well, very well. But this is really about a man's passion. I can tell you right there. I mean, all the way from, you also go through, I mean, for me, I'm kind of an emotional guy. You even go through tears, you know, what happens with this too. So I don't know if you know, but Phil Knight did lose a son. It wasn't, I think, not that long ago. But yeah, it talks about his story about that too, and sacrifices he's made. So there's a couple of copies up here, but like I said, if anybody gets this book and you are disappointed in it, I will refund you personally. That's how much I think. That I don't think anybody's going to actually say that this was a waste of time or money. But if it's a waste of time, there's lessons you can always pull out. But if it's a waste of money, I will refund you your money personally. Just give me back the book and I'll give it to somebody else to pass on. And I will actually give you back your refund on this, because that's how much I believe this story is not only inspirational and educational, but it's really, really inspiring for business owners, any type of business that you're into. So that's my pitch for a book for Barnes & Noble. So that for those of you not familiar with, I guess, our format, it is kind of pretty open. If you have any questions in the middle of anybody who's speaking, by all means, raise your hand. Feel free to ask questions. We do have a kind of a hard stop time frame of 8:30, but you're free to hang out and welcome to ask questions to either me, Stephen, or anybody else that's in here as well. But don't feel as though you have to stick around and it's rude. If you need to leave, babysitters need to be relieved, then by all means, it's very casual as well. But number one thing that we have this group for is, if you have any questions about internet marketing or business on doing it on the internet, we don't want you to leave without at least asking it. We have some really, really smart, experienced marketers in the room. So by all means, please ask it. This is a really light crowd. Usually we have about 8 or 9 more that usually come on an average. So by all means, but like I said, feel free to ask. If we don't have the answer, I'll see if I can figure it out and get it back to you on it too as well. Okay, but without further ado, I want to go ahead and have Stephen be able to go ahead and give his little talk. I'm not gonna talk anything about it. I'm gonna let you introduce it because I don't want to blow it. Because what you were telling me about it was just too interesting for me. Okay, I'll go ahead and do the camera.
I might bring up that screen and you just see it. Okay, thank you. Okay, so what's that? Chris and I, we have breakfast a couple times a month, and one of the things that came up, he's like, "What are we going to talk about this meetup?" And I was like, "Well, have you guys heard of Russell Brunson?" Yeah, Russell Brunson, ClickFunnels guy. So he came out with something recently, and I brought it up to Chris. I was like, "Okay, so Russell Brunson's really big on, you know, free book, just pay shipping, right?" So here's the book that he put together. So are you familiar with how Russell Brunson kind of has his oh shoot, what's it called? What was it called? The 2 Comma Club. So people who have made at least $1 million with their funnel that they built through ClickFunnels, they become part of the 2 Comma Club, and they get a big plaque, and it looks like a big gear, and it has a ClickFunnels logo, and it's just kind of like an award, right? But it's also kind of a show of power. So he has 30 people that came together to answer one question, and it was, you lost everything. This scenario, you lost absolutely everything. How would you rebuild your business today? No money, you lost everything. So these 30 people, all in different kind of areas of marketing. Some are e-commerce, some are consultants, a lot of different areas. And they all put together kind of a plan, what they would do. So these people who have made at least $1 million with their product and have built that authority, basically say, hey, this is how I would redo everything. And Russell put them all together in one book. Did anybody see this launch by Russell, by the way? So he didn't just do a book. He has the 30 people all in like each one has their own link, and there's 2 videos. If you guys want the access to the one I'm going to talk about right now, if you go to scvinternetmarketers.com, at the very top, there is a link to the Facebook group. Yeah. So at the very top here, just says Facebook group. That'll take you right to the Facebook group. Just request access, and we'll approve you tonight. But there's a post, I think it's the second one down. It'll have the 2 videos that I'm going to kind of cover tonight, as well as the section about that's also in this book. So when Chris asked that question, he's like, what do you want to talk about? And I kind of told him about this. I was like, but there's one particular person that kind of stood out among all of them, especially since, how many of you are in e-commerce? I know there's 2 for sure, right? 3, 4. Okay, cool. And a lot of other people that come to the group are in e-commerce. And so this one I thought was very, very pertinent because he was able to get, look at this. He was able to get 29,000 emails, 29,000 leads that are relevant to his niche, which the case that we're going to talk about is a flashlight. I don't know if you've seen them on Facebook. They're like a tactical military flashlight. Chris has one. You hit the little button, and it just blasts. Like, it can blast the whole mountainside. And it's cheap. It's like 15 bucks, right?
Best dog walking flashlight ever.
It's like super powerful. You can, like how, you know, the mag light, you can adjust it, and so it'll get wider, or the more narrow, more focused light is. Same thing, is really powerful. So it had kind of like a viral aspect to it, to where you can show it off, and people immediately know what they're going to get. So that's what this guy did. That's his product. He has an e-commerce product, and it's just one funnel, one product. His upsells, I was talking to Chris, I was like, his upsells are, well, you can buy 2 flashlights and get a discount, or you can buy 3 flashlights and get another discount. And Chris is like, oh, you should sell batteries and stuff. So right here, this is from a guy named Trey Llewellyn, and this is pretty much all he does. He builds funnels for kind of viral products. And what he did, in a nutshell, was he's like, okay, well, I have this tactical flashlight that's kind of kind of military, kind of survivalist, kind of, you know, that type of niche. It kind of fits in a kind of a narrow bubble. And he's like, if I had to start over, I would run a giveaway and I would build my email list as fast as I can. Since I don't have any money, I'm going to have to kind of bootstrap this. And so he said, okay, we're going to go to the book section of Barnes & Noble, literally Barnes & Noble. He's like, the type of people that are interested in this product, like guns and ammo, right? That's a really big one, right? Guns and ammo, doomsday preppers, right? People who want to be prepared for, you know, whatever may happen. And he's like, okay, if you go to the back of these pages, look at what are they promoting? Ammo. This one's ammo. He's like, okay, this is Camillus knives, so a knife manufacturer. And so he's like, okay, so these are a lot of different people that are advertising in these magazines. Magazine ads are pretty expensive, right? So what he does, he's like, okay, let's take it a step further. There's none in here. I think Guns and Ammo has one. There's cards where you can subscribe, right? Usually there's like some sort of contact information if you want to call them, or it's probably just on the website. He calls them and says, hey, can I get back issues? I'd like to get 12 months of back issues of Guns and Ammo. And he'll go through all 12 issues for Guns and Ammo and see, hey, look at this. These people that have, I don't know, customized rifle or something, they advertise all 12 months. So he's like, that leads me to believe that they're spending a lot of money. It's a full page ad, and they're doing it every single month, so they must be profitable. And if they're profitable, if people are going to their website, they must have a decent size email list. And so what he does is he says, he'll get a whole bunch of them, right? He'll say, hey, person that's selling ammo, might be a smaller manufacturer, but it's been doing it for a while. He'll say, hey, person that's selling a slide for, let's say, like a Glock or something. Hey, person that's selling a custom knife, we're doing a giveaway. And I want you to be part of it. And how this is going to work is we're going to collaborate all of these awesome products, and you're going to promote it to your email list as a giveaway. I'm running it. And then they're like, okay, well, what's in it for us? Okay, so we have this company, this company, this company, this company. They're all doing the same thing. They're all going to promote it to their list. We're going to gather all of those people that sign up for this giveaway, all 30,000 of them. Those are now going to be yours at the end of the giveaway. We're also going to share it with everybody else. So it's like a combined effort. So this is just one. In the video, he scrolls down. He's like, oh yeah, this one's 15,000. This is 5,000. This is one we're working on right now. Oh, we just jumped another, 10 subscribers. So literally, he's not spending any money. He's just spending time hopping on the phone, inviting people for this giveaway. He said, once you get one, and you say, hey, this guy has 50,000 people, potential people you can add to your list. As an e-commerce person, you can add that to your list. Since it's niche relevant, promote your product. And that's what he does for his little flashlight, or what else was there's a few other products he has. But that's it in pretty much a nutshell. So on the website, let's see here. On the Facebook page, the second post down, there's 2 videos. Oh, you already loaded them. Excuse me. Okay, this is the one where he's actually showing everything. This is one where he's kind of fairly lengthy. There's 26 minutes and 11 minutes. But he goes into detail about everything. He kind of shows you his funnel, shows you what he promotes and kind of how to set up the funnels. But that's pretty much it. But expanding on that, you don't have to stick with just magazines, because there's blogs, right? There's other websites, other business owners in different industries that you can contact that are still relevant to your niche, and just say, hey, if you have an email list of more than 10,000, we're putting together a giveaway, and potentially you can get up to 30,000 more subscribers that you can sell. So for e-commerce, I thought that was a brilliant way to kind of, one, just get an email list going, but also, these are active people within your niche. So that's pretty much it. Feel free to hop on the Facebook group and check it out. But
his website. I want his website.
Nope. Trey Llewellyn. Oh, so this was a big bummer. I don't know if they sell this book just by itself. It's You Suddenly Lose Everything, 30days.com. And then what was it? What would you do from day 1 to day 30 to save yourself? So this was part of his of Russell Brunson's funnel, and they closed it to anybody else signing up, which is kind of a bummer. Yeah, it was like a really short launch, but that was like probably the #1 gem for e-commerce that I found. If any of you want to take a look at it, I can't really give this out. I literally just got this today in the mail, but on Facebook, you'll have the 2 videos, and then also Trey's section that kind of go, a lot more detail of what his video was. But yeah, that's about it.
Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, any questions?
Is he still running this thing with the preppers and all that stuff? Is it still going on?
Yeah, from what I understand, that's been like one of his flagship products. One of the cool things that was it him? I'm not sure, but one of the cool things that I did see was they'll find like a viral product. They'll run like here's a really cool little technique. Let me show you something really neat.
So if I understand correctly, the cost of admission is your email list and maybe a product for them to give away.
Yeah. Ideally, they would volunteer a product, but if you have to pay, the $50 for a product or whatever in exchange for 30,000 emails, so that's not bad. But that's kind of how I would structure it. I'd say, we're having some pretty awesome companies. Combined, they have 300,000 emails, and potentially you can get, a sizable amount just by contributing to this giveaway. But yeah, that's the gist of it.
You'd have to pick companies that aren't competing with one another.
Yeah.
I mean, one is selling ammunition, the other is selling guns.
Yep.
Something.
Yeah. I mean, if you go through these magazines, like I said, there was one that I saw a slide, like a handgun slide. What's this? A stiletto, knife, guns. You just find different variations. But the bottom line is if they're in the magazine that your niche is kind of avatared for, and they're continuing to advertise for it, chances are they've worked something out. So it's really best guess, but it's kind of an educated best guess. Does that make sense? Oh, what I wanted to show you, a cool way to find viral products in your niche. So let's say bit.ly. So everybody know what Bitly is? It's just a link shortener. That's it. Yeah. So a lot of e-commerce companies use this, especially with viral products, to track their clicks on Facebook and type in free shipping. So these are just two kind of core keywords. Free shipping to try to find products, Bitly to kind of confirm to get the link because you want to see what their landing page is. And just type that into Facebook and go to videos. So you can see how many views there have been. So 4 million. Oh. Okay. So yeah, you can see like 4 million, 19 million. So this is a tribute that's not really relevant. 2 million, 100% guarantee free shipping. Use this on your skin. So you can kind of see what other e-commerce companies are advertising. But if you want to get a little bit more niche relevant, you can say flashlight. I'm not sure if this is going to pull up anything, but we'll test it out. Oh yeah, here we go. This only has 6,000. Let's see if there's another one that has more. Because you'll find some that have millions. Like, check this out. The little charcoal teeth cleaning thing, the toothpaste, like activated charcoal. Solar power flashlight. This is the flashlight that's pretty much what he was selling. Guy looks like he's in the military. Not really.
I have one of those.
Yeah, they're an awesome flashlight, right? So one of the things, like if you're going to look for a product to market, when it comes to viral products, one, they need to have a video. Two, the second thing I was looking at was the comment sections. And the comment sections are the social proof, or the reviews, if you will, of Facebook if you're going to market on Facebook. So if they're saying, awesome, this is an awesome flashlight, you know, reviews like that. If they are actively tagging people, if they are sharing, then those are all good signs. Give you an idea of like, okay, well, this is a product I should probably, you know, if it's in my niche, I probably want to also source from AliExpress or what have you. And if it does turn out really well for me, then buy in bulk and get shipped to you so you can make a better profit margin. But that's essentially what they would do is they'd run these searches, try to find what other people are doing really, really well. I don't know if they do this, but I like to look at the comment sections to verify that only positive reviews, shares, tags. So if that's all there, that's just going to increase your conversions. So yeah, then you can start to build kind of a funnel off that. And that's one of, I think, kind of the secrets of creating a single product funnel for an e-commerce store, at least from what I've seen, like from his products. They're all viral products that do really well on with a video demonstration, and all have really good comments in their in the comments section.
How much of the order here? Can you click on the link? Tell me how much they're selling?
Order here. Oh, I have no clue. Probably why there was only like 1,000. $23.
Yeah.
So it was like around 20 bucks. Yeah. I know Chris got it on eBay for like 15. But
Yeah, I clicked on Alibaba.
this is Shopify. Yeah, and they all have kind of the same look. But yeah, for finding products and then for, you know, building that email list, I thought that was really cool how he was able to build an email list just by calling up these companies. Literally, he said, he's like, yep, I found this one, does really good. And then I just call them up and say if they want to participate to potentially get, you know, thousands of emails for potential customers.
So the giveaway that's like an ad that he puts on Facebook?
Nope, not at all. He creates a funnel giveaway. So he just creates, mind you, this is trying to sell Russell's product, ClickFunnels. So he creates a funnel, join the giveaway, enter your email address, and then okay, so this is what part, I totally forgot to add this in. So the front part, join the giveaway, right? First page. All right. They enter their email address.
Rewind. Where would a person see this in the first
Right.
place?
Okay. Everybody here, you own, so I have the flashlight and I'm Trey, right? You have a knife manufacturing company, you have a safe company, you have a slide company, you have ammo company, everything related to what I found in Guns and Ammo and all these other magazines to be very relevant, and you have proven to, I guess, make a profit, he thinks. I reach out to you, say, hey, you have an email list of 50,000 people. Would you like to join the giveaway? And you can get additional, you know, emails because I have 4 other companies with a combined total of 400,000 emails that you can potentially get. So once we run the giveaway, you send the email to your list of 50,000 people, going to my page that promotes the giveaway. I collect all the emails from you, because they're all doing the same thing. They're all promoting the same giveaway, the same link to my website. And I'm collecting all of the people that want to participate in the giveaway. And then once I collect them all, once the giveaway is done, I give them to you, give them to you, give them to you, give them to you.
The list.
The list.
So you never get their
No.
And you never get their list?
I would never get your list, not all 50,000, not all 100,000, whatever. I only get the people that want to join the giveaway from your list.
Mail to our list.
Yes.
Get your thing.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Is your product.
No, it's your product. It's your product. It's your product. We want to promote your product to get more sales.
I
Right?
want to join now.
Right? Because it's like, it's crazy, right? You get that many emails just like that. So the secrets, the more secret sauce he does was just like in true ClickFunnels fashion, you get their email address, take them to a thank you page. But on the thank you page, you don't just say thank you, goodbye. You say thank you or wait, Wait, stop. If you don't want to wait, you can get, you know, this right now, right? And you can either promote your products, or what Trey does is he says, I have an affiliate product that is still relevant to this industry. And it could be, I don't know, little credit card knives, right? That's another one that was really big. Little credit card knives fit in your pocket. You can get this cool tactical credit card knife for only $9.95, right? So he upsells on his thank you page, or between his thank you pages.
Now, is the giveaway a sweepstakes? Or
He just calls it a giveaway.
you're actually giving the funds away?
Yeah.
Yeah, but does everybody who signs up get one?
No. Yeah. It's a contest. Yeah. So there's only five products. Let's say, he says like keep it like around $500. People like that. So like, okay, that's cool. So I think that's everything. In case anybody's interested, this is exactly how I got this in the mail. He wraps it with, hey, promote this to everybody you know, right? And you can make money along with the book. I know some people like to look at the packaging. If you want to take a look at it, it'll be up here. Just please don't take it.
Are there other strategies? That's the best.
For e-commerce, that was the gem that I took away. All of them had very similar. I went through every single one, and it didn't matter if it was for consulting or whatever. They all kept it very simple. They're like, I only have 3 pages, and that's it. That's how I got my 2 Comma Club, award. But they all said to pretty much keep it simple, don't complicate it. And even Russell, I forgot what I was watching, but he's like, I get approached by people all the time, and they all say, hey, take a look at my funnel, break it down. And he's like, okay, this is cool. So there's like 20 steps, and then you have, if they click the email, they get this series of emails. If they don't click the email, then they get this 20 series. If they don't, and he's like, it's just too complicated. Just keep it simple. And that was something that kind of rang true with everybody here. So it's like Russell says it, but we like proof all the time. Russell says it, he's the guru, but 30 other people do the same thing. So there must be some wise information with keeping it simple.
See, I was thinking about the Facebook thing you showed us.
Yeah.
What did you put in Bitly?
Bitly is the link. So all we're telling Facebook is to, hey, look for this link right here. Because a lot of Shopify people that sell products, they like to use link shorteners. This is the most common, because they use a link shortener to track how many views or how many clicks they get from their ads. So that's why. We also want to make sure that we can also see their funnel too. Where are they sending it to? What does their landing page look like? Because if they're getting, there have been somewhere, let me see here. So if we just do Bitly and then free shipping, you can see some that have like free shipping. Look at this, 14 million views. So he's done the hard work for us. He's advertised, and more than likely, look at how many shares. Let's see here. 1,000 shares. Yeah. So this is like the ultimate kind of viral video, because you can see within a second, like, what's this product about? This is pretty cool. Who would go dipping an iPhone in water? LOL. So, there's always a lot of cynical posts. But I like to just scroll down and see what people are saying. And if they're really positive, then that'd be something I would consider.
So they're driving them back to their website.
Yes.
By the ad.
Yes.
And then where does the ad itself then has like the other people that he's promoting?
I'm sorry. This is separate. Yeah, this is separate from Trey's little email thing.
Or is that a separate?
This is just something I was thinking about, because he doesn't say it, but the product that he chose to promote is a viral product. And that's why I wanted to show kind of how to look for viral products and how to do research to see what products are viral. And if they, what's the criteria of a viral product that would do better than others? That's why I wanted to show you the comment section and how to find those. Yeah.
Viral meaning that it becomes really.
Meaning that if I show you this, is this something that you just scroll past on Facebook? Or if you see somebody throwing water on an iPhone case and it turns bright green, you're like, oh, that's cool. does it make you say that's cool? And does it have 14 million views? Right?
Cheers.
Yeah, and thousands of shares. But yeah, any other questions? All the information's on Facebook. So scvinternetmarketers.com. It's at the top. It just says Facebook group.
That's a. So next, I want to talk about. I hope to go through a course that was putting together. I mean, that I bought. Excuse me, that I bought, and that I'll be going through. This is. How many of you have ever heard of Jeff Walker? He's one of probably the most famous internet marketers of back a few years ago, because he was the first to break a lot of different records on the internet on selling. And he sold a product called the Product Launch Formula. And I believe they even sell his book here at Barnes & Noble's, because then he wrote a book about it later. But his formula became one of the most well-known marketing techniques that was on the market. So this is basically the course. Now, the thing about his Product Launch Formula is that when he sells this course, it only comes out, I think it's either once or twice a year. So it's only going to be in segments at a time. It runs for about $2,000. And for the past 6 years that I think he's been running it, I could never afford it, or it was just not the right time, or I didn't have a product that I thought I would be going ahead and putting through it. So I've been building a product of my own, a digital product that I'm going to building it for like 10 years. So I finally am going to be focusing on trying to get it done. But when I do launch this, I want to do it so that it's done right, because it is a digital product and it can gain a lot of momentum if it's done right. So one thing is, it's been taking me a while to get it done. There's just been so many things that have gotten in the way of doing it. But it's been a passion for me to get this course out. And it'll be targeted for a very specific niche. But I came across one of the affiliate marketers, Ray Edwards, who's a podcaster. He's also known as a really well-known copywriter. So he was promoting Jeff Walker's product, and it was, again, only going to be open for sale for, I think it was about a 1.5 week period. So he was, the thing is, if someone like Jeff Walker is putting out a product like this, they're going to be using affiliates, because this launch, I wouldn't doubt, makes him about $1 million in the launch that it comes out. One of the techniques that you'll see out there when someone buying these expensive courses is that you'll see videos being posted in segments. So they'll give, a lot of times it's 3 videos. The first video will give a lot about the benefits of what this product can do for people, dream building, and then it gives a little bit of hints and tips that you could probably use for yourself. So it gives even a little bit about what their course might be. So this is no different. He does that. He does the first video. He's always out there getting it, but his affiliates are also pushing his product as well, because they get a commission. A lot of times it's 50% commission or something like this that's going to happen. On top of that, the top affiliates get these huge bonuses. So a few years back, there was Amazing Selling Machine, which is a course on how to sell stuff on Amazon. Sold for $3,500 to $4,000.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think
Yeah, so if you paid all at once, it's $3,500. If you paid in increments, it cost $4,000. But even that one, they did actually 3 videos, and I think it was brought out over a 2-week period that they were talking about it and building buzz. They used, I think they even consulted directly with Jeff Walker to go ahead and build their launch. That was, I think, one of the largest, if not still is, the record of, they made like 20 million in a week in 7 days of selling this Amazing Selling Machine. And they did like 10 million the next year and another couple million the next year. So, and it's incredible what Jeff Walker has figured out on what makes products sell on the internet. Well, 2 weeks ago, again, like I said, it was being launched. Ray Edwards was doing promotion. And the way these affiliates get you to buy it through them rather than another affiliate or directly through Jeff Walker, because there's no discount because you're using an affiliate link, is that they offer a lot of promotional bonuses on their own. Now, Ray Edwards, being one of the most well-known and best copywriters right now on the internet or in general. He's offering a 30-minute consultation, and you can talk about anything regarding a product launch or copywriting. But also, Jeff Walker has also included a live seminar that you can attend. That's part of your $2,000 that you pay for Product Launch Formula in Arizona. And Ray Edders is going to be there, and he's doing his own private breakout session for people who used his link. So you can talk to Ray directly, which is a huge benefit when it comes to wanting getting your copywriting done. Now, I'm sure Jeff Walker's product also has a lot about copywriting, but imagine having the formula done and then also having coaching by one of the best copywriters to write your copy on this. It was something I could not not hold back on. So I ended up buying the course. When you buy it last week, it didn't open for use until yesterday. So that's the thing, is I'm not able to go ahead and give you any information about the course itself. But next month, I would have gone through hopefully the whole thing in 30 days to give a good outline of it. Now, of course, it wouldn't be ethical for me to give you the whole thing because he wants you to buy it. But I'm going to give you whatever is already pretty much well known in his book that's out there, because the formula is not a secret. There is a little, of course, it's a lot of videos that you're going to be going through. I mean, that I have to go through. That's going to be a lot more in depth. Otherwise, we would just buy the book and just launch it from there. There's a lot more to it than that. But I'll be able to go ahead and give you the proper structure next month about what I learned about it and the biggest benefits the biggest takeaways, I guess, is the best way to say this on this. Because it's not for everybody. I mean, there are people who use the product launch formula for physical product. It's been rumored. Now, I can't confirm this, but it's been rumored that even Apple hired Jeff Walker to launch, I think, the early iPhone products. I'm not totally sure because I think there was an NDA that he had to sign, but people kind of figured out that he was the consultant that they used to go ahead and launch their products and how to build the buzz that was on the internet about some of their products that they've done in the past. But needless to say, if you ever look up anything, I think even Jeff Walker has his own podcast. I highly recommend going through some of his stuff because you can learn just a lot about the psychology of marketing. If you don't know his background, he was a stay-at-home dad, and he was trying to launch something on the internet, and I think he sold 6 pieces in a week, and it just bugged him. So he just tried all these different techniques, and over 2 to 3 years, he was able to figure out a formula that worked out best. And of course, since then, it's even been perfected even better and better and better with other marketers. He's watching what they have done, improved on his stuff, and now every year the course comes out again. It's actually supposed to be better, more knowledge that's coming out. So just something, a little forethought about what's coming ahead. I wish I could give you a little more information about it, other than I know part of the formula is to have 3 videos to build the excitement about it, and then also to only open your product window for a short period of time, or to give a huge, massive discount if bought at a certain period. And then, of course, the sense of urgency is put in there so that the price is going to be going up. I don't know anything. Yeah, if you just actually, so the other thing you can do is you can go to jeffwalker.com/programs, because it does talk about the program here, what it does. The step-by-step that shows you exactly how to launch a product in precise detail. It shows exactly what to do every step of the way, right down to which blog to post, release when, and what to say in every email that goes out. So that's another part of formula, is that his emails that come out, the structure of each one is actually, it's pretty well documented on what works best. So that's pretty much what I have about what's coming up. Does anybody have anything that they want to discuss about anything else that's going on? Maybe, yes.
It seems like we're talking a lot about books tonight. I'd like to tell you about a book I ran across. I'm sure it's here.
Absolutely.
It's called, it's regarding negotiating. And I have no idea why I bought it, but it's called Never Split the Difference.
I've heard that is, yes.
It just absolutely blew me away. The guy who wrote it was a guy named, I think it was Chris Voss, and he is a top FBI negotiator. And when you start reading this book, you'll realize, I hate to say how you have been manipulated, but you'll recognize techniques that you could also use. I mean, they're honest, it's not criminal, but how he doesn't seem to classify people as much as he talks about the different voices he uses and the way he responds to questions. And it just blew me away. And he would bring cases in that were so big, you've probably heard of them if you watch the news as far back as 20 years ago. And then you realize that this guy was right in the middle of it, and he discusses how he negotiated freedom or this and that. And it's like, I think,
wanted to read that book.
oh, it is absolutely amazing.
Great
Absolutely
suggestion.
amazing.
Because a lot of the real estate people I listen to now have been talking about the buzz on this book and how much it actually has saved them or made them money. When understanding psychology about negotiating in general.
Yeah.
And this is another really, really highly, what do you call that? Exposed book right now that a lot of people have been talking about. So yes, thank you, John. Actually, that's a great, I should have brought that one up too. I have it on my wish list for my audiobooks.
Absolutely worth reading. It
Yeah.
really is.
Thank you for sharing that. Yes, this is another, what was it? A simple tactic of when somebody's trying to negotiate you for prices, especially when it comes for real estate. That was, came to my attention. I was reading Donald Trump's book, The Art of the Deal. And it was actually the one that I read. It was actually by the older gentleman that used to be on his show, his attorney. He was the main author of it. But one thing is if somebody tells you that they want a discount or they want to change on something and you don't think it's right, basically you write down all the reasons why certain things are certain values and where they should be. And just to bring that out there, because people will actually try to throw out money and just numbers at you. Like if you have a $100 jacket and they say they want it for 50, and you can actually tell them, well, the materials cost this. And if you have a detail of any point and then what your profit margin is, a lot of people will just actually back down just the fact that you've given them some figures and numbers. That's been something that I think that saved me about $5,000 after reading just that part of it. And somebody was asking for a big discount because they wanted carpet changed. And all I did is I called up Home Depot. I got an exact figure how much it would cost for the room size that they wanted the carpet changed. It came out to like $400. And I said, they wanted $5,000 off the price of the home, thinking it was a $150,000 house. $5,000 wasn't a big deal to have this. I told them, look, I can get it for $500. I'll take $500 off. It saved me $4,500. They didn't even balk back at it. They didn't try to negotiate anything else. So that's how much it costs, and I could get it changed myself. And they said, okay. I think their realtor actually was the one who was telling them try to ask for $5,000 off. To see if I would go halfway on that. But these simple little things, books about negotiating are really beneficial in business. It's been something that's I think one of the books I need on my list. Let's see.
There's one, I forgot where, I think it was like a Trump seminar or something. One of the most powerful little phrases that I learned was trying to get somebody down in price. I even do this at like swap meets and stuff. They'll be like, oh, it's $10.99. It's like, is that the best you can do?
that one phrase.
Is that the best you can do? And you're like, oh, and immediately they like just drop down in price. I can't count how many times we got a better deal just by asking if that's the best you can do.
Yes, another one. Yeah, that's what book was that from?
Just using the word because.
Cialdini.
Yes, Robert Cialdini. Yes, the influence book. Yes, and Persuasion. So those are other good books I would highly recommend, which I've actually promoted in the past as well, because that gives a lot of psychology. But that's also interesting because they use a lot of facts of studies that he had done. Robert Cialdini, yeah, those are really good books too. I don't have really much more that I had on the agenda other than we're going into the fourth quarter. We know a lot of people are starting to ramp up. If anybody's doing Amazon businesses, a lot of them have actually started to get their things pre-ordered, put in place, ready for Black Friday. But I don't have any strategies to share other than what we've gone through in the past. Any Amazon sellers? So you guys probably already know that make sure that you have more than enough inventory for Black Friday, because you don't want to get, Stephen have I actually seen businesses crash because Black Friday they run out of inventory. And if you don't know about the Amazon algorithm, but everything's based on momentum of sales. And if you run out of inventory and you can't sell anymore, your rankings start to drop. And that's when all of your competitors can build up their momentum off of your loss because you're not around. It's hard for you to gain your positions back after that. So one strategy that I've seen in other places is they do not bring down their prices for Black Friday. They actually just ride the wave of momentum, and they just go ahead and let everything sell the way it is because they automatically get a boost, including Prime Day. Prime Day. When I've also seen a lot of strategies where people will just bring their prices down even just 5%, because there is a frenzy mentality that happens. So if you're not prepared to actually go through a ton of product on Black Friday or Cyber Monday, then sometimes just dropping your price 5% so that it shows that if there's even a small discount, people just think they might as well get it now because they're already shopping. And that way you don't run out of inventory, but you can still take advantage of having a lot of sales. But you don't have to go through blowing out tens of thousands of pieces on things like that. What other things? Sponsored ads during that time period, or even a lot of, yes. So for sponsored ad strategies, what Amazon will tell you to go ahead and boost up your cost per click, your bids up 30%. And well, that's what they told us in the past, which is absolutely kind of ridiculous if you're not going to be profitable. Unless your strategy is to even just be breaking even, keep the momentum going, I don't know if that's absolutely necessary. Yes, there is definitely an advantage to go ahead and run advertising during that time period to go ahead and get more momentum. But that being said, everybody starts to go crazy on a lot of their bidding, even people who don't know what they're doing. So because Amazon tells them to boost your bids, and they don't understand their own numbers. We've actually seen a ton of people that were actually asking for our consulting services or our services that had no idea that they were losing money on their ends when we asked them for their numbers and we ran stuff on. So it just showed that there was a lot of people who really don't know how to run their businesses on Amazon that are competing. So be careful with that strategy of just going ahead and boosting your bids. I would still say that it's a good strategy to boost bids on only the main keywords that you know are profitable, and boost to only the point where you're profitable at. Whether or not you're getting the top positions at that time, you can go for momentum, but you have to make sure that you're going to be profitable because you don't want to be in business to lose money. And that's one thing you have to be careful on that way. When it comes to bidding on Google, you do not need to go ahead and boost your ads, your spend too much. I do recommend going ahead and actually boosting it a little especially if you're doing Google shopping ads. That you might want to go ahead and boost up just for if you're in the market that's going to be selling in a hot event, I guess, to do that. But you just have to kind of watch what your spend is at. The more automated algorithms you have to be extra careful with. We have seen this, or I've seen this happen a lot. We have a good week coming up, and all of a sudden, because you're making these sales with your ads, if you're using any of the automated, the ECPCs, the enhanced bidding on Google, it will start to inflate your bids thinking that that's going to be a typical. It takes about a week for it to bring back down your bids when you're not making sales. Basically, it's taking a week to see that you're losing money before it starts to really come back down. So you need to be very careful with the enhanced CPC bidding for Google. Another thing about that too is Google has removed the cap, which means if you're bidding $2 for a bid for your ad to show up, and Google thinks that a $7 bid will actually get your stuff to sell, or even a $20 bid will get your stuff to sell, it will jack up your bid until it thinks that you can keep on selling to the rate that you want to be profitable at. So you have to be super careful on that, because we've seen bids at over $50 when the product's only $45. It doesn't make any sense to have bids go up that much. It's crazy that it would actually do stuff like that. So it is not a perfect algorithm. I don't know why they moved that cap. Before it would be whatever you bid, the max it would go is 30% above. Bing has stated very clearly they are not removing the cap yet. That's not part of their plan. So if you're using Bing ads, that's still a strategy you might want to go ahead and use. It's not necessarily cheaper for using Bing, but it is a different targeted market. Being one that actually uses both Bing and Google equally as far as the amount of keywords that we target, I can definitely tell this is would be the mentality of anybody who does it. Bing has only 10% of the market share of the search engine market. So most advertisers will spend 5% of their time in that market of maintaining their ads. And the reason being is because 80% or 90% of it's all Google. That's where most of your money is going to be spent. That's where you're going to spend most of your time. It makes sense. The other side of it is if Bing is at least profitable, you don't put as much attention and you just kind of do whatever one side is doing. Whatever you're doing in Google, you just maybe mimic it on Bing. But if you have a market that is actually in the older demographic, maybe the less technical demographic, Bing has a really good advantage for you to really be profitable in it. Sometimes even the problem with Bing is that you can't spend enough money doing it. And I also would highly recommend trying Yahoo ads. It is still a horrible platform as far as usability, but it is getting better. At least you can now sort. Before you couldn't even sort the stuff that was in there. But I mean, I actually manage Yahoo ads daily as well. We'll go into that and take care of the stuff that's in there. It is the most profitable as far as margin of ad spending on Yahoo, of all the 3 search engines. Like huge. The marketing cost on that is phenomenal. And that's, again, if you have an older demographic, maybe less technical, that's a great market to be in on the Yahoo ad spending. The only thing is Yahoo, be careful because on the Yahoo, if you ever go to yahoo.com, people actually still use this website. But what they do is they will stick ads in the feed. Let's see if we can see one. So they'll stick ads in the feed. And they will create their own ads and throw them in there for you. And you have to go in and you have to bid down these particular ads in the interface. So that's right. And some of them work, but in the market I'm in, it didn't actually work very well. When you sell a physical product and you're trying to force it on somebody who's maybe not interested in it, it doesn't really work all that well. Companies, credit card type, it's more like clickbaiting that trying to go ahead and grab some of those that actually still work though. I mean, they try to, you see these ads all over the place, they'll go through that. But that's one thing you have to be a little concerned about on that way. But more so, your advertising will also show up on this side if you're actually running some different ads that are coming in. But Yahoo, like I said, is one of the more profitable as far as your market. We can't, no matter how much money you want to throw in, sometimes you can't spend more because they don't have enough ad showing of it. But it seems to convert very well on different products. So I would highly, and it's cheap. That's actually where you can get from very, very cheap cost per clicks, depending what you're marketing. Gemini, Yahoo Gemini. They do not, no. Yeah, they do not have shopping. Bing does have shopping as well, and that works very well. And there's also, a lot of people don't even know about this, but there's these ads, it's called dynamic search ads, that you can, it's pretty cool because what it does is you can create a DSA campaign in Google and Bing. Both sides you can do this, look for dynamic search ads. You can create an ad and it will scan your website for pages. It looks at a lot of your title tags and it'll actually create ads for you using their AI, their artificial intelligence in there. And it'll actually serve up these pages that a lot of you might, it's more for, this is for physical product. So it will target actually landing pages that actually have product on them. So, but the thing is, it will look for long tail words that you would not think of bidding on, look in your content, and it'll match up these things. And that is, it doesn't get a lot of action because of course it's longer tail stuff and it's, but when somebody does happen to search for something that matches up really well with your product and the listing that's on there, it will serve up an ad and these convert really well because it's so highly targeted. And you don't, the thing is, you don't know what ads they're serving up. They don't tell you, but I just know that they convert and it's pretty darn cool. And I mean, I think we have 4 times higher conversion rates and it's like 4 times less the cost. So it's a great advertising opportunity if you're, especially if you have like Shopify stores and you actually have product pages. that those are ads that you want to try. Yeah, like again, you're not going to be spending a ton of money on it because their ads don't show that much. It's actually targeting long tail stuff that people, but it's the type of the AI is getting pretty darn smart. It's pretty interesting. They are also coming out with a fully automated system. Google is that you just, how does it work? You give Google free reign to show whatever ad they want. And apparently if you let it, it'll start to learn the habits of people and it'll start serving ads better and better and better, and it'll just start to work. I have not seen it in action yet because it's a little bit too much power for them without any control. So until we actually have a little more understanding of how it's going to work, then that might be something I might have a little more experience in the future. But
So do they have, just like Google, they have a keyword plan, this Yahoo, do they have that something to kind of research for keyword?
for Yahoo,
Uh-huh.
Gemini, I don't.
Basically use Google research.
Yes.
Plug in Yahoo.
Yeah. Yeah. With the amount of keywords that we've already had in place for Google and Bing, we just use the same keywords going over to the other side. That's the thing is Yahoo's platform is still can't hold as much as many keywords. That when you try to, they have an editor now that like a tool to do bulk editing, and it's so. Well, most people don't have them, and we have like over 1 million keywords, over a couple million, that it can handle that. But because spreadsheets can be that big, and they can only handle like 1,000,004 lines or something like that. So, but for the most, I guess for most people, it wouldn't have that problem because a lot of smaller companies won't even have more than 50,000 keywords. You know, I mean, they'll stay within that type of range, which would be no problem for that to be used. But it's a pretty powerful platform on that way to go ahead and do it. They don't have a planner that I know of, but they do have an import tool that a lot of times you can take stuff that you've made on Google. I know Bing for sure. You make stuff on Google, you can just import it right into Bing. And then you just want to adjust bids, and then that way now you're in dual platform. And I think there's even a way you can sync Bing to whatever you do on Google, so you don't have to work at one. The thing is, Bing knows they'll get most usage out of their system if users are comfortable with it. And they know that most people are already using Google. Whatever Google comes out with, they're usually just not like they're 6 months to a year behind in creating the same things that Google has. Yahoo is foolishly trying to do it on their own. And their platform is nowhere near as intuitive unless you're already used to it. So if you learn Bing and Google, Yahoo's like a stepchild of it that you can understand the basics and the concepts, and you'll be able to build out what's in there. But if you need help with it, I'd say come here and just ask me, because I use the platform every day. I can help you navigate. There's some quirks in it that are so weird that we have to figure out. And Yahoo still hasn't fixed it, but I can tell you how to get reports and how to run stuff on it and how to do certain things on it. So I'd be more than happy, because the thing is, because the system is so primitive, it doesn't have all of the junk that's really enhanced that get in the way. So it's really fast to teach how to use Yahoo. In fact, if anybody's interested, I can actually do a lesson on how to do Yahoo and Bing ads one day. I'd be happy to do that. I'll actually set up some ads and point it to something, and show you how to go ahead and use the platform. Because I said it's cheap, and it's the best converting platform that I've seen out there. It's just that you can't, if you want to spend more money, you can't. It just won't let you because there's not enough ads to serve up, not enough traffic. Yahoo only has about 10% of the market as well. So that's the thing. Not a lot of people are still searching on it. But
I have a question about conversion rate.
Mhm.
Is conversion rate dependent on category or type of industry you're in?
absolutely. Because depends on certain industries will actually convert a lot better than other industries. But in general, I get
10% good conversion rate.
10% is phenomenal. If you're going to get conversion rate, most people say conversion rates off pay-per-click ads is about a 1 to 1.5% is decent. So that kind of gives you a gauge of where you're at. Now, that being said, if you can, there is always a way to fine-tune any paid search ads to to where you can get 15-20% conversions on that. But it depends on the market for one, and it depends on the keywords. So I've had a few people who have had just one single product and that's all they were selling. And as a test, just to get them to get their keywords, we basically targeted only 12 words, 12 key terms, exact match, and that's all they were going to be selling. And everything was very relevant from top to bottom. So if we were selling a I don't know, okay, I'd say a cordless, let's call it a cool mouse, a mouse that's actually never gets hot, if that's an item. So we would actually target the words that people know that they're looking for. It's a mouse that never gets hot. So we would call it cool mouse. That's going to, so if someone's certain it's going to be highly relevant to what they're looking for, the ad would say the mouse that never gets hot, you know, or something. But every keyword that we would target would only be exactly what it is. So because they didn't want to spend any money. I mean, at most, I think they were going for like $150 a month, which is not like nothing. You know, it's $5 a day. But you could target stuff like that. And when they're only going to get 10, 15 clicks a day, but of that 10, 15 clicks, they'll get a 20% conversion because everything's so highly relevant from top to bottom. No one's going to click on the ad not knowing what they're clicking on because we make sure this is the mouse that stays cool. It's for computers, and you know it's going to be very relevant. But you can get higher conversion rates and really trim your spend so that you're going to get a good marketing percentage cost on that. And
for conversion rates for ads, because if you're going to run ads in your Amazon, right? So we ran them to landing pages, and we sent them to Amazon. Amazon always outperformed based on, because you did like a corollary type study, right? So if you're going to send it directly to Amazon, there's two phrases that just outperformed everything to save you time and money. First one, free shipping. So this can apply to anybody, regardless if you're using Amazon or not. Free shipping is huge. That one you saw an increase in conversion. The second one, if you're going to be using, I guess you can modify it for your own store if you're going to send it to your store. But for Amazon, we put however many 5-star ratings there were. We would say 2,000 5-star ratings, right? 2,000 with the number 5, right? Use the number 5 and hyphen if you can. 2,000 5-star ratings. Buy on Amazon.com. You know, free shipping, something like that. So that'd be like 2 lines, the description lines.
Yeah, and that still holds for other. I mean, almost every product line that I've seen, that free shipping is really, really powerful. That's going to get your highest click through on that for sure. Now, conversion is all based on whatever you have, how good your product is, how good your price is, and how good your landing page is. That's going to make your conversion page work or not. But for ads, if you want clicks, absolutely, free shipping is the other one. And if you can give the, if you can honestly say the 5-star rating scale on it, that's really powerful too.
Is it 5 word or 5 figure?
Number 5.
Number 5.
Hmm? Anybody else? Like anybody outside of e-commerce? Not everybody's e-commerce. Well, real estate. What's your name? I'm sorry, I didn't.
It's my first time here.
Oh, okay. Welcome.
Did you have any other questions? I mean, did you come with any questions in particular?
No, I think what you guys talked about. I have a e-commerce store. I have a blog store. I sell digital products, printables.
Oh, okay.
I sell on Etsy also.
Oh, cool.
Oh, very diverse. Yeah. Do you do actually any paid search advertising?
I do not.
No.
I have not done it. I mean, I do sponsored advertising on Etsy.
Okay.
And that's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I do it. I tried to do the Google Shop advertising through Etsy. And they gave us a $300 to do that. I did it, and they gave me nothing. Like literally no company. But it was like, okay, Google Shopping is not for what I sell.
You know, though, $100 is kind of hard to tell. If that's but
you know, I didn't have
no,
$100 to throw.
no, no, but that being said, you definitely don't want to waste your time and money learning it on the fly. Find somebody who has experience in it, and definitely have them walk you through so that the learning. The thing about that, if you're brand new to using Google AdWords or Bing Ads or even Yahoo, is the learning curve is very expensive, really expensive. So cut that time in immensely and go ahead and get some either mentorship or a consultant, or I'd be happy to go ahead and give you some ideas. And if you're going to start doing that, because one thing is, of course, targeting the right keywords, getting the right keywords that are actually to make sure that you're not putting keywords that are going to get people to click on there that don't really know what they're doing, because then you're just wasting clicks and you don't need the research type.
And I have a pretty specialized product, so people usually know what they're getting.
Being that you're on Etsy, I'm going to take a stab that you've probably tried Pinterest already, or no?
Oh, God, yes, God, yes.
Okay, so are you doing Pinterest paid ads?
I've done paid ads for Pinterest, but they have, you just changed their paid ads, and so now, like, every time somebody clicked, you were getting, I can't remember what it was, but it was, yes, every time somebody clicked on the ad, it would show up, it's like one site, so it doesn't get a charge, I'm like, this is not okay, no, you wait for us. So a lot of people just stop with Pinterest ads, just because they changed the algorithm.
Ah.
Because before they click on the ad and it would just show the pin, and people would just repin it, and that was free.
Yes.
Only if they actually clicked again to get onto the website would you get charged. But now, when you show your ad on the feed, if they click on it, they didn't see the pin, they go directly to the website. People are not used to.
But you're probably still getting a lot of at least free traffic through Pinterest, all right? Oh, good. Okay.
80% of my traffic is from.
Now, on Pinterest, you can adjust. You can adjust your bids, right?
Yeah.
Even if you go like a penny.
Oh yeah, I've done low.
And it still actually doesn't come out profitable.
Well, I mean, when you go too low, it just doesn't get shown.
Yeah.
You do get some traction with it. I've never been. I've had courses. I've done it. But
that's awesome. It is a powerful platform, especially for Etsy users.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
And yeah, I'm trying to use it more to go to my own website now. So I'm pinning more from my own shop.
Is it automated or you do it manually?
The pinning, I use Tailwind.
Tailwind.
Yeah, it's an automated pinning system.
Oh.
Yeah. And yeah, I loved Word Booster until it got. And then so my conversion has gone down since I'm not using Word Booster anymore, but Tailwind is coming up with a kind of a more of an automated like Word Booster used to do, which is a lot more automated than Tailwind is. Tailwind, you still have to tell it which thing you want where and when. And Word Booster, you just said I want all these spins once a week to all these boards, and it'll just do it until you start to stop.
Wow.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. Is that Tailwind free?
Tailwind is $9 a month.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
No.
Wow. Yeah, enough for the amount of work that you save.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I probably I spent thousands of pins.
Oh. Wow, that's awesome. So I don't mind to turn this back on you more so, but would you have any suggestions for somebody that has an e-commerce site that may not be necessarily in an Etsy type niche where it has to be, but like say just a standard regular product? Is there one hint or tip that you could give, I guess, us of what is a great opportunity for us to use Pinterest that you would say is that, what do you call that, the one that you use now?
Tailwind.
Tailwind is, I mean the one before. The board one you said they
Word
took it
Booster
away.
is gone, yeah.
Okay.
Pinterest put an end to that.
So would Tailwind work for any e-commerce, or you think
Oh,
it's
yeah. I mean, the thing is, if you have your own Pinterest boards, you just make your own boards that has to do with what. There's tons of product pins on Pinterest.
Products and services.
Right.
Etsy services.
But then there's also just regular product. I think it all depends. I mean, I know Pinterest is a lot
just mostly females on Pinterest. So if you have a tactical knife, I'm not quite sure it would do so well, but you never know. You'd have to look like if the niche is relevant to Pinterest. But I would say just, get yourself your own Pinterest account and make yourself some boards and just start pinning into your own boards. As long as you have doing keyword research on Pinterest is really easy. You type in like the main keyword you want, and then they'll show up with all the other keywords that people have searched. They give you like a whole line of suggestions, and in your description you just add all those keywords. It's really quite easy.
Yeah.
But depends. There are some rules. It should be long portrait. That's what works the best.
So there is. I think my wife. She bought a Pinterest course. Right? I think she didn't. I think we did a Pinterest. We went through something. My wife had bought a Pinterest course. And she went through it, and I shared it, but I don't remember it because I don't use it that much. But the last week on YouTube, I have been bombarded with Pinterest ads. So they are doing a very, very heavy promotional push. And now that I think about it, every ad that I saw started off with men on computers.
They're trying to get men, I guess.
Yes. And it's brilliant because their ads, I just look at how are they advertising, what's the message, how are they doing it, what are they promoting, and
Where are they at?
So this is the scene. It's a father and a daughter sitting in I think in a living room. They're kind of doing their own thing. He's on a laptop, and he says, "Hey, let's go camping this summer." Talking to his daughter. So then it's some header or something that says, so many percentage of people look on Pinterest for their shopping ideas before they buy, like 9% of people or something like that. So he types in tent and camping. And it's whoever doing the marketing is brilliant because they also now use the visionary and the dream part of it. Because then these 10 images show up on his screen on Pinterest. He clicks on a couple, and then it takes to him dreaming about being in a tent, him and his daughter, and he's like being the man kind of thing, cooking or whatever it might be. Like he's having fun, and she's like all in all how good her father's doing this camping thing. And then he goes, "Yeah, let's go camping. What do you think?" And shows her the pin or the ad. And then her dream is, now she's thinking about her with all her teenage friends, all in the tent, just screaming and yelling and all talking to her and doing that thing. So she's dreaming and she's like, yes, let's go and do that. So of course from there he goes and makes his purchase. He can purchase through Pinterest. But that was one of them. And the other one was a husband and wife. And they were talking about, I think they were in the kitchen talking about some kind of idea on a cooking class or something, and they looked on Pinterest and then they got that idea. And same thing, he's dreaming about cooking this elaborate meal and she's dreaming about somebody cooking for her or something. The different idea what people dream about, but nonetheless, it shows the fact that one idea can touch various amount of people, but they started with the men first. Really interesting because, I go on Pinterest a lot for hints and tips, Excel tips on how to use Excel and shortcuts and board, and life hacks, how to remove stains. I could use YouTube, but Pinterest is actually almost easier when I don't need to go ahead and wait for videos, scroll.
Anything to do with cleaning your house?
Oh yes, there's brilliant. Yeah, so I think actually the demographic is beginning to shift. Not so much there be more men, but there's more men going on, and maybe a higher percentage is starting to move over to that. Because it's a very powerful tool that's out there. But yeah, advertising on Pinterest, from my understanding, it was really inexpensive.
It is.
And still, so
it is still inexpensive.
Yeah, compared to
it gets more expensive.
Yeah, and it will continue to like anything else.
A question from online.
Yeah.
Have you heard any news on the recent algorithm update on Google?
For SEO or?
I'm guessing SEO.
I actually did, but I don't know what change happened. It was just an announcement or we had just heard that there was an algorithm change that had happened, but
no one ever mentioned any effects to.
No, the SEO people I talked to said that actually helped the rankings.
Oh.
So that's one. One thing I did find out is I asked an SEO guy what was two of the main things that he said had the greatest impact on improving ranks, and this guy just does that 24/7. All he does is improving ranking. And he said the number one thing that he looked for is to make sure that you always cleaned up anything that was for page errors, which is, some people would think is just a given. But the other thing is anything that you've done 301 redirects as well. And then also to funnel the canonical pages, which means if you have 3 or 4 pages that are kind of the same and similar in content, to make sure that you're using canonicals to force everything to one as much as possible, because it just doesn't dilute the amount of traffic. So more traffic keeps on going to the page that has the highest relevance, that's the best page to have. And what that does is actually makes more traffic, longer longevity on that page, and gives it more power. Now, you could have 3 that are kind of similar in content, but if one is better than the other, that would actually keep people reading. He recommended making sure that he had canonicals going to those specific things, unless more relevant keywords going to other places. But nobody had actually mentioned what they felt the algorithm change specifically had done.
Yeah, I've heard that too, about the removing the redirects and just dead pages, empty category pages, and product pages.
Pat Flynn had talked about, has a post on his Smart Passive Income.
Yeah, he mentioned that.
About getting rid of pages that were similar.
Screaming Frog, I think that tool.
I use Screaming Frog.
Yeah, so if you use Screaming Frog, it should be able to show you like all the 301, the redirects,
yes,
broken links, and things like that.
That's a great tool.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there's so many settings. When somebody taught me the settings to use on that thing for Screaming Frogs. If you're not familiar with Screaming Frog, basically it's a tool that can scan your website and looks for anything that's broken links, redirects, and problems with the website. It's a really pretty powerful tool as well.
Well, why both of you mentioned redirects, and why? What's the problem?
So every time Google changes or goes from one to another, you lose a little bit of what they call it. I guess they call it juice.
Yeah, juice.
Yeah, you lose a little bit of juice. So you want to eliminate as many of those as possible, if possible. But of course, for paid search, a 301 is actually better than a direct is always better. But a 301 is better than nothing. Because depending on how big your account gets, if somebody does a lot of changes or you have certain things that are going to certain areas, to do a lot of even those changes on the ads itself can be kind of cumbersome depending on how you have it structured. So make sure you still want to put 301 redirects if you're going to be restructuring your URLs or making changes, just so that if there's anything stray, but as much as possible. If you can eliminate 301s altogether, that'd be even better in that way. So make sure your links are going, any external links that were coming in, or any internal links that you have going to other pages, don't go to pages that have 301s. You want to make sure they're going directly to where you want. Any other questions?
No, I think we're good.
Now, if anybody has any type of subject matter that you want to have brought up, and to give you an advance, then we can try to see if we can find the information on it, or even just do our research ourselves and just put together whatever we can to do something about what we've learned, because that's how we learn. Unfortunately, I was telling Steve at our breakfast that because all I work in 8 hours a day is on Google AdWords and I'm just doing maintenance. Before, when we were doing consulting, we have multiple clients, different niches, different problems that we'd be researching throughout the week and learning all the stuff that we could share more. But I don't have that opportunity as much. One, I don't have people having so many problems. All the problems I get put in front of me are just AdWords, Bing, and Yahoo problems. And that's all I'm stuck with. But I can tell you, though, which was kind of cool, is I was exposed to the power of the internet for businesses on what information is available out there for people to get if they're willing to pay for it. So what I mean is, I didn't know that this was as prevalent or as easy as it is, but me as a consumer, I go to a website like Barnes & Noble's. Let's use this as an example. Barnes & Noble's has the ability to pay for a service that will now actually track my IP to know where I'm at. Based on my IP, that IP can give them a pretty darn good idea what my home address might be. It will also tell them all the devices that also log into my IP address at home. So it now knows how many tablets I have, how many laptops I might have on the desktop. But it also now is tracking what I'm looking at, what subject matters. So if I'm looking at a sociology book, a history book, a biography book, a computer book, it actually knows that. And then if I then close if I'm on my phone and then it also knows now my phone, not only my Wi-Fi, but it also has my MAC address. So if I go off my Wi-Fi and I'm actually using my data plan, my MAC ID can also be tracked to an extent where it also knows now this is my cell phone and where I might travel to a different area, what location I might be. It also knows what other family members might be in my household based on their devices as well. But if I put in either my phone number or my email address, it now has almost a full profile based on Facebook and Google data that's available. Because if I stay logged in on Chrome and I'm using Chrome, Google's gathering data on me, which then shares it with these other companies that are willing to pay for this data. They can get a profile of me knowing almost everything. Barnes and Nobles can immediately, if they have the technology, which some companies do, they can immediately print a postcard of one of the items I happen to land on and stay on long enough to know that I'm interested in it, and send me this postcard and say, on your next purchase of this particular book, get 10% off with this postcard. And they draw me in that way. This technology is already being used, and it's pretty darn scary to know that that's fine. But then it also knows if I am actually looking on another network that I'm a guest. Because it knows how it's mind blowing. And of course, it also now, because Facebook does gather this data, they pay for it as well. But it also knows if I'm a homeowner. It also knows if I'm male. It also knows if I'm single or married. If I have kids. Of course, the profile of what I'm doing based on Facebook knows what my likes are, what my hobbies are, also what I was looking. They don't know if potentially what I was looking for was maybe a gift rather than for myself. It's crazy on how much data that is out there.
So, I have a question. I don't know if it kind of pertains to that. Finding information on people, like if I have an address, I can find out who lives in that address. But in order to find their phone number or their email address, there are sites that you can go on, like white pages, and get their phone numbers and tell it's. So there are a lot of those, but they're not always that accurate. So I think my question is there another way to get the, because most of it is just taken from public records.
Correct. There are. There's actually a lot of the real estate blogs that I listen to, they talk about these services that actually go deeper. They can even tell you how much left on someone's mortgage in some cases, on some of the cases. But I don't know, have you heard about that app where you can be in front of somebody's house?
Yeah.
You take a picture of the house and immediately a postcard will be generated to ask them if they want to sell.
Oh, I didn't know. I knew you could be in front of a house and it would tell you how big it is, how many rooms.
Oh, that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what they call it, driving for dollars. These investors do that. They're looking for the most shaggiest house.
Right.
You can take a picture of the house, automatically know GPS and everything located. And because you set up an account with your name and everything else in there and your phone number, you take a picture of the house, it'll automatically write a postcard out with a picture of their house and say, "Dear so-and-so, the owner's name. I came across your house the other day. I'm looking to buy a house in this neighborhood. I was wondering if you're interested in selling. Here's my phone number and my name." And it automatically, the system generates and sends them.
What's the name of that service?
I'll look it up. I'll let you know. Yeah, it's not that expensive. Like for like $9.99 a month, like $9.99 a month, it'll send out 15 postcards, or $100 a month, unlimited postcards. And then of course you can also customize things. If you don't want it, they can just store up numbers and stuff like that. So, but it uses a higher end system, not just public records. It's something that's I think the records that
NSA.
title companies use. The title companies actually have the more detailed information, right? So I think it actually uses it as title numbers. Yeah, it is. So did you have a question?
It's sort of a time, but how does GDPR, is that to fight the collection of data, or does that
So,
impact sales at all, or?
For my understanding, GDPR is really mostly for Europe right now. Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah. I do not know much about that, other than you have to put now warning messages on your website for privacy, but I'm not knowledgeable enough to go and share that. There is a gentleman that comes once in a while who is an attorney who actually, I think he put a podcast up about it. Yeah, I wonder if he has it as a public podcast.
I know Facebook requires you to have, I guess, a snippet of information if you're using their pixel. I know a lot of companies, like big companies, they want you to do that just for transparency, especially with all the hoopla that's happened with, the election and everything. But GDPR, like if you're going to be marketing in Europe, I know that you have to, your pixel needs to be disabled until they give you authorization to to enable it. So there's plugins. So if you use WordPress, there's a plugin on Theme Forest that'll do all of that for you. It's like a big GDPR plugin and puts everything out there. But yeah, for details, Gordon, I know he put together a whole course on all the details.
I thought he was going to make a podcast on it.
I thought he did too.
He may not have done it yet, but GDPR for coaches. I don't know which one it might be, but if you do a Google search for Gordon Firemark GDPR, he might have something online on it. He actually comes to our group. He's actually a copyright and intellectual property attorney out here.
Yeah, if you should just shoot him a message, I'm sure he'll send you a link.
Okay. Yeah, it's just interesting because it seems like Google is gathering a lot of the information without your consent, so it seems like those policies sort of.
Well, I know in Europe they get hit a lot for making sure that they have to adapt to a lot of their stuff. Yeah.
So Stephen, with the Facebook ads, what I've been warned about real estate ads is that now you can't target the way we used to be able to, like, it's discriminatory males or income level or anything like that.
It's just the targeting options. They removed the targeting options.
That's what I've heard and read, because it's anything that
You mean inside the ad copy, not the targeting?
the targeting.
I can't believe that.
Wow.
Because anything with real estate, you cannot discriminate against anybody.
Right,
for,
right.
Like anything that would even hint to that.
Equal housing opportunity. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I've heard, and I haven't done it, or
Yeah.
They'll just take your ad down. They won't.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay.
Where's it going to stop? Because they're going to say this.
When they shut down Google and Bing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh yeah, it's 8:30.
Well, thank you very much, guys. If there's any subject matters that you want to hit up directly, if we don't know it, maybe I can either find a guest speaker on it or we'll research it.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.